Well, good afternoon. I am glad to see that you all made the long trek back down the hallway to the auditorium here. I want to start by thanking our wonderful hosts and all of those who put this event together, General Sullivan and AUSA, the VBC staff, our local AUSA chapter, all of you who represent the defense industry, our elected officials, our federal partners, NASA, Marshall Space Flight Center, the FBI, ATF, our Joint and Army military headquarters that comprise Team Redstone, members of the Secretariat and Army staffs, FORSCOM, TRADOC, all Army Service Component Commands, our foreign allies, and even Alabama's #1 tourist destination, the Space and Rocket Center, led by Dr. Deb Barnhart. And I could stop right there and have successfully talked about tremendous partnering, but I won't. I feel like this is about the 100th talk I've given on partnering. Public-private, public-public, public-private-public. So just to make it a little less wordy, I'm calling this talk Partnering Opportunities, and I'm framing my comments in terms of what we must do now to set conditions for Force 2025 and beyond. Mostly what I'm going to do is mention great examples of where partnerships are working today, give some recognition to those who are advancing the concept for the greatest mutual benefit, and then propose opportunities out there for all of us. And I'm setting the stage for the panel that will follow me, the really smart people who want to discuss this topic even further with you and answer the questions from this morning's panel. Partnering is our past, it is our present, and it's our future. There's no better place to have this discussion than Huntsville, Alabama, the site for one of humankind's greatest endeavors, manned space exploration. Huntsville, Alabama. You know, a common adage around here is, it is rocket science. We're here in an arena named for Wernher von Braun, a man who understood the power of partnering to achieve nearly impossible things. Dr. von Braun often said that he had learned to use the word impossible with the greatest caution. And he further stated that once a concept gains traction, you cannot determine what might come from it. I believe that's true of where we can take our partnerships for the future. Standing here, knowing just a little about that history, why would we not aspire to achieve incredible accomplishments for the same equally noble causes? Army Materiel Command has been developing partnerships for many years, and we see this path as key to our success through 2025 and beyond. We've studied the characteristics of successful partnerships, and I'll share those with you. They include long-term relationships and commitment, shared vision and objectives, sound business cases, early and continuous involvement of the acquisition communities, senior-level advocacy and support, mutual trust and shared risk, clearly documented objectives, flexibility to change partnership scopes and enforce partner decisions, balanced workload across complementary capabilities, independent review and oversight, and the right metrics and incentives. Each partner should complement one another. If each partner's capabilities are the same, the relationship can become competitive, even adversarial, and not the cooperative, synergistic relationship needed for true partners. You know, in the past, I've focused many of my remarks on partnerships with the defense industrial base, among organic depots, arsenals, ammunition plants, and our industry partners. Today, I'll certainly talk about those, but I'm expanding my discussion to a larger set of AMC partnering opportunities across the material life cycle, from basic research through test, development, fielding, and sustainment to disposal. While AMC's official partnership program has existed for more than 16 years, we have to continue to grow it to achieve the best results for soldiers today and tomorrow. The goal is to preserve and enhance unique organic industrial facilities and our skilled, dedicated workforce while offering private industry access to these great capabilities for mutual benefit. AMC is chartered to maintain core capabilities within the Army's organic base, and if we don't partner effectively, we can actually cost taxpayers more and be less effective. The problem is, we often start partnering way too late in system life cycles, when manufacturers have already invested in plant and hiring and training personnel. So we get into these circular arguments, and private companies are wary of entering into relationships with the organic base. The perception, the organic base will take workload away from the private sector, and vice versa. Typically, we've relied most heavily on the organic providers in the sustainment phase of the acquisition cycle, But you can see how far down the path this is. And even though it's usually the longest part of the life cycle, by this time the private sector has invested huge capital to support the system and may rightly assess that divestiture is detrimental to their programs. I think we should incorporate organic industrial-based capabilities much earlier in the acquisition cycle to ensure that weapon systems meet performance objectives, but also that the design phase focuses on reliability and sustainability to a greater extent to reduce total ownership costs. This shift could create much stronger relationships within the defense industrial base between organic and private sectors, so we can combine capabilities and expertise for optimal support, rather than transition to them somewhere later down the road. In fiscal year 2013, a challenging resource year to say the least, we executed 300 public-private partnerships across AMC's industrial base. They generated more than $200 million in revenue for our operations, but as importantly, they provided critical work for our skilled artisans. AMC's depots, arsenals, plants, and centers provided services that were either not readily available in the private sector or were not cost-effective for private industry to provide. I'm going to show you a video here that demonstrates some of the capabilities within the organic industrial base. Well, I don't know about you, but that music always lifts my spirits. So, more than 300 partnerships. You can see we have a lot to talk about. My challenge was how to present great examples, knowing that I would leave many folks out. But I think it's important to share some of these success stories to prompt future efforts. In the early days of the space program, Dr. von Braun said that he had two overwhelming challenges: gravity and paperwork. He was convinced they could lick gravity, but the paperwork was overwhelming. And I have to tell you, there is paperwork involved in partnering activities. Many of the partnerships within the organic industrial base are covered under specific provisions of Title X, including teaming or work sharing. This is under Section 2474 of Title X, which allows combining Army depot and contractor employees and facilities to produce or repair systems and components. An example of this is a partnership between Raytheon and McAllister Army Ammunition Plant in Oklahoma, established in 2011 to produce joint standoff weapons and GPS-guided Excalibur projectiles. McAllister provided the trained workforce, while Raytheon provided the testing and inspection. Another approach is purchasing and direct sales, in which private sector firms purchase articles or services from organic providers. This allows private firms to increase capacity and throughput without further investment and helps the Army maintain our core capabilities within our industrial base. Under this arrangement, the organic base acts as a subcontractor to a private firm. And a great example of this is Honeywell International, who purchases services from Corpus Christi Army Depot in Texas to repair and test gears and seals for helicopter systems. Corpus Christi Army Depot is a hallmark of partnering. As the center of industrial and technical excellence, the site for rotary wing aircraft, they partner with a vast array of commercial partners, such as Sikorsky, General Electric, Boeing, and Honeywell. The OEMs provide technical, engineering, and logistics personnel, and they position material on site to support production. Corpus Christi provides trained workers and facilities, including warehousing, and equipment needed to overhaul and maintain the aircraft. A win-win for the partners, and an even bigger win for our aviation units, Army, Navy, Marine Corps, even Department of State, and a big win for American taxpayers. They get validated savings from these partnerships. For instance, the partnership with General Electric for the T700 family of engines and components has realized more than $15 million in validated savings. With Sikorsky, savings on recapitalization, crash damage, and component programs realized more than $16 million. With Boeing, components for Apache and Chinook fleets have shown another $12 million in validated savings. And with Honeywell on the T-55 engine program, more than $2 million more in validated savings. Another opportunity involves leasing, where private firms can lease organic facilities and install their own equipment, or lease facilities with depot-owned equipment to produce goods and services for government or commercial customers. Safety Management Services, SMS, an international corporation that provides a variety of risk management services to commercial clients and government agencies, began a leasing partnership with Tooele Army Depot in Utah to conduct product explosive sensitivity and reactivity testing. SMS leases the depot site for about 30 weeks out of each year. Partnering benefits industry in many ways. It facilitates access to U.S. Army Centers of Industrial and Technical Excellence, those site designations, and their advanced technology equipment. Industry can take advantage of opportunities at places like Tooele, which owns and operates a fully equipped machine shop with water jets, electro-discharge machines, and 5-axis milling machines, or Bluegrass Army Depot in Kentucky, with more than 1,200 structures, including igloos, supply warehouses, munitions sheds, and maintenance buildings. The workforce at our depots and arsenals provide repair and maintenance using processes honed by award-winning Lean Six Sigma initiatives. Industry can and should take advantage of the diversified, highly skilled, and deployable workforce. Red River Army Depot in Texas has more than 3,000 multi-skilled employees who have technical experience and capabilities, including design, fabrication, and manufacturing of a wide variety of items, from specialty parts to unique prototype weapon systems and vehicles. They partner with BAE on the Bradley Fighting Vehicle System for powertrains, component work, road wheels, and support rollers. Tobyhanna Army Depot has 58 ongoing partnerships, 35 direct sales with 29 different companies, 14 foreign military sales cases, and 9 work-share partnerships. The team at Tobyhanna is currently working on 78 more opportunities, ranging from 1 to 2 year terms to multi-year indefinite delivery and definite quantity options. Tobyhanna is the warranty service provider for several OEMs. Dell, Hewlett-Packard, Panasonic, Lenovo, GTSI, and Lexmark all count on Tobyhanna to provide warranty service for computer equipment in the field to support standard Army management information systems. Tobyhanna acts as the local office for the OEMs and provides Army units with expedited service in the field. It generates some revenue, but more importantly, it provides units immediate response that enables their readiness. Tobyhanna has partnered with Lockheed Martin on the Terminal High Altitude Air Defense for technical assistance. Tobyhanna provides on-site repair and embeds with fire units for deployment, fielding, or testing. For Northrop Grumman, Tobyhanna supports the Hunter Unmanned Aerial Vehicle generator trailers with design, manufacturing, and testing support for the 15 kW generator. And they partner with Durco Aerospace for tip-to-tail performance-based logistics upgrade to 435 depot-level reparables on the UH-60 Blackhawk. Since 2002, Anniston Army Depot has had strong public-private partnership with General Dynamics Land Systems, a direct sales and facility use partnership for more than 2,800 new Stryker builds with a total revenue of $31 million and more than 165,000 man-hours for Anniston's depot workforce. For more than 620 combat-damaged Strykers, GDLS and Anniston have partnered in a work-share and facility use partnership. Total revenue of $43 million and more than 675,000 Anniston employee work hours. GDLS manages the supply chain. Anniston, again, provides skilled touch labor. And to meet the Army Force Generation timelines, labor was split 50-50 between Anniston employees and GDLS employees. And except for the different uniforms they wear, you cannot tell the difference. It's been such a success that in 2012, GDLS and Anniston expanded the partnership to include the Stryker Double V Hull Exchange Program, another $5 million revenue and 41,000 hours of work. You don't have to take my word on any of this. I want you to hear it from people who are closest to the topic. And this next video is a few months old, but it highlights Anniston Army Depot, just one of our sites, and it demonstrates the benefits of partnering from industry's point of view. Partnerships across Army's industrial facilities can come in many combinations. Letterkenny Army Depot provides reset repair on Tier 2 generators. Tobyhanna takes the Tier 2 generators off, ships them to Letterkenny, and upon completion, Letterkenny ships them back to Tobyhanna for integration on weapon systems. So this is not only a public-private partnership, but a public-public partnership between 2 Army industrial facilities. Yes, we even partner with ourselves, and we will do this across more programs in the future. We're also using contracts to optimize partnering opportunities. ASALT, the PEOs, and Army Contracting Command all play vital roles here. For example, contractors that compete to operate Army ammunition plants must provide ways to optimize government facilities through consolidation, reducing excess capacity, and making capital investments. Several ammunition plants have very successfully incorporated this strategy. One example is Lake City Army Ammunition Plant in Independence, Missouri. The operating contractor, ATK, is seeking efficiencies that could result in $100 million in capital investments over the life of the contract. And because we anticipate a significant reduction in government requirements for small arms ammunition, the contract allows ATK to use excess capacity to produce commercial ammunition, ensuring a warm base and a trained workforce that can surge production for contingencies when we will need them again. At the very beginning of the life cycle, partnering in research and development has immense benefits. To quote Dr. von Braun again, he said, "Research is what I am doing when I don't know what I am doing." Under that definition, I do a lot of research. The U.S. Army Research Development and Engineering Command, RDECOM, manages many active cooperative research and development agreements, CRADAs, for the government and private entities to share research and development efforts. A few examples. The Armament Research Development and Engineering Center in Picatinny, New Jersey, works with Worcester Polytechnic Institute for laser-engineered net shaping. This is a way to fabricate metal parts directly from computer-aided design using metal powder that is injected into a molten pool that's created by a high-power laser. Don't try this at home. The Communications Electronics Research Development and Engineering Center at Fort Belvoir shares research with Virginia Tech for cyber operations research. NATIC, Soldier Research Development and Engineering Center in Massachusetts, has 2 CRADAs with the University of Massachusetts Lowell. One for analyzing the stability of vitamins in warfighter rations, yes, that pizza that you had earlier, sir, and one for flame retardant textiles. I've seen the demonstrations of what some of those materials can withstand, and it is remarkable work. These CRADAs and others will tremendously benefit our soldiers and teammates. RDECOM also has science and engineering exchanges with more than 20 universities and academic partners. These collaborative research partnerships bring a wealth of talent together to improve capability and survivability for Force 2025 and beyond. The U.S. Army Research Laboratory, ARL, brings together the triad of industry, academia, and government. ARL is working to extend their alliances through an open campus concept, combining the strengths of each of the triad members. Academia is known for its cutting-edge innovation. Industry partners tackle the technology bottlenecks and figure out how to make that technology work on systems. And ARL researchers keep efforts oriented on solving complex Army technology problems. The campus concept is elegantly simple. Create an ecosystem for academia, defense labs, and industry facilities. People and resources to develop and deliver transformative science. It would provide collaborative space that would draw world-class talent and access to world-class facilities to provide that innovation we're looking for to allow rapid transition of technology to our soldiers. Our Tank Automotive Research Development and Engineering Command in Warren, Michigan has extensive partnerships as well, and they are working on game-changing technologies for Force 2025 and beyond. General Vai mentioned one of these efforts earlier today, and I'd like to share some additional footage from a recent demonstration of this technology application. In partnership among TRADOC, Lockheed Martin, and TARDEC, they've demonstrated the ability of fully autonomous convoys to operate in various environments with multiple vehicles of different makes and models, all of them existing in the fleet already. The demonstration at Fort Hood, Texas last month was part of the Army and Marine Corps' Autonomous Mobility Application System, AMAS. The test involved driverless tactical vehicles navigating hazards and obstacles such as road intersections, oncoming traffic, stalled and passing vehicles, pedestrians, and traffic circles in urban and rural test areas. Here's what that looked like for those of us that had a chance to be on the ground at Fort Hood. Think about what you could do with that, not only in a tactical environment, but on an installation with distribution efforts, and how you could reduce the requirements for weight and protectant and so many different areas for the future. I think that's game-changing. I think that's near term. There are so many other efforts we could talk about under the umbrella of partnering. I'll confine myself to one more area that I believe is critical not only for our Army, but for our nation, and that's in the realm of educational partnerships. And again, the words of Wernher von Braun are instructive. He said, "All one can really leave one's children is what's inside their heads. Education and not earthly possessions is the ultimate legacy, the only thing that cannot be taken away." The Army's research teams are at the forefront of promoting science, technology, engineering, and math outreach, STEM education. They do so with local schools and universities, and they do it so at all the installations on which they reside. They believe in developing the future of our country through STEM outreach and conveying excitement about technical fields we need to help our nation maintain our innovation and technology advantages. Army RDECs also provide capability through university-affiliated research centers. And these centers are created through agreements with university research programs to maintain essential engineering technology capabilities for the Department of Defense. They're university-led collaborations with partnership of the university, industry, and defense laboratories to conduct basic and applied research and technology demonstrations. The centers provide that critical mass in research areas that meet Army and DoD future needs and anticipated combat requirements. Each center focuses their research on areas where breakthroughs are likely to enable leap-ahead capabilities for our forces. Two of many examples. The Institute for Collaborative Biotechnologies focuses on high performance and efficiencies of biological systems and how to transfer this understanding to increase soldier performance. The University of California at Santa Barbara is the lead university in collaboration with the California Institute of Technology, Caltech, and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. The center conducts research on biomolecular sensors, bio-inspired materials and lightweight portable energy, bio-inspired network science, and cognitive neuroscience. Another center is the Institute for Creative Technologies, hosted at the University of Southern California. In partnership with the U.S. Army, America's entertainment industry, and the worldwide academic community, the Institute for Creative Technologies is helping to shape the future of Army training using virtual, constructive, live, and gaming simulations. The Institute seeks to harness the power of artificial intelligence, emerging visual capability, immersive simulation technologies, and storytelling to provide America's Army a worldwide technological advantage on the battlefield. I will close as I started, with words from Dr. Wernher von Braun that can inspire us as we face the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. It's not water or real estate or labor or power or cheap taxes that brings industry to a state or city. It's brain power. Nowadays, brain power dumped in a desert will make it rich. Right now, you could run a profitable electronics firm on the moon if the company liked the climate. Educational climate, that is. Without question, such a climate is the most important single resource in attracting new people and new ideas. It's a self-generating process. Once you get it started, it snowballs. That's what I believe partnering does for all of us, and why I think it's important that we use so much time in these 2.5 days to explore how we can do more and do it better. Thank you for attending this session. Please stay for the panel discussion. If I didn't mention your firm or your particular partnering effort, I'll be happy to talk with you afterwards. I'm going to be talking about this again. I do wish I could have mentioned them all. If you'd like more information on partnering, please visit the Army booth in South Hall. There you'll find more information, including a great compilation that AMC has put together to expand partnering opportunities. We also ask that you consider visiting many of our organic sites. You'll see the power of our industrial base, and you'll think of opportunities that we haven't yet. This is a journey, and we're on it together. We know that we will not have as many resources as we've had over the past 13 years. We have to do things differently. We have to partner differently, earlier and more collaboratively. And though it is often pointed out to us that we are not perfect, let's just remember we are the good guys. We are committed to continuous improvement. We can and will find ways to keep providing innovative solutions through partnering for Force 2025 and beyond. America deserves nothing less. Thank you all so very much. Army strong. I'll come back up while the panel is assembling, and I'll read through them at least. I know that they're going to try and catch up on the questions from this morning. Lieutenant General McQuistion, how do you see partnering aiding the logistics required for the Army's piece of the Pacific Rebalance and for the innovation required for Army Cyber Command? Boy, I tell you what, please come on up and, okay. We do see that there are so many opportunities, I think, as we continue to define the requirements, some new and emerging requirements that we'll need both for operations in the Pacific and as PACOM and TRADOC further look into capabilities required and define the requirements, there are just, I think, tremendous opportunities that we can do partnering efforts in support of their operations there. And I think the same is absolutely true for Army Cyber Command and Cybercom.